Hi, I'm Joanna. I'm a holistic nutritionist and the owner of Nutrition in Motion. And I have the pleasure of teaching you how to make basic vinaigrette dressings. And thank you, Lisa Genza from the Freedom Summit Kitchen, because this is all about healthy eating. And what I have for you is the option to make the dressings with me. And first off, I want you to go ahead and go to tinyurl.com/simple-dressings, and you can get this 3 to 4 page guide for the vinaigrette recipes. And my whole idea of being healthy as a holistic nutritionist, I'm looking at the whole body. And I've created a system called EASE, where E is for eating better. And it's always about, what affects your sleep and how you move and how you eat. But we always want to choose a little bit better and choose to eat more real foods, and making your own dressings kind of falls into that category. We always want to add some kind of an anti-inflammatory component to it, because inflammation will help your body repair faster, but it's also going to minimize the propensity of disease and aches and pains and stiffness in your joints. The S is for stressing less, and it's really about reframing the situation that is causing you stress and finding where those hidden stressors are, whether it's from the food you're eating, the environment you're in, the emotional stress, mental, physical, or environmental stressors. These are all stressors that are actually causing your body more harm than you actually realize. So my job is to help you to stress less and really cope with it much differently than you had learned when you were a child. And then the last part is really to embody the beauty and embrace the beauty of who you are, and embrace the beauty of who you are, the beauty that is inside of you, and see the beauty all around you. So with that EASE program and that system, I help people to feel better quickly and really make progress on increasing their energy, increasing their joy in life, and really finding that inner peace and joy that I think most of us are looking for. So part of the Freedom Kitchen and my thought is we need to actually have our own food revolution so that we can make more foods at home. The more foods that we make at home, the more we are just buying the ingredients rather than supporting the processed food companies. And I'm not saying that all processed food is crap, but a lot of it has extra hidden ingredients like preservatives, extra citric acid, extra sodium, extra sugar, extra dextrose and corn syrup, and things that really weren't designed for our bodies to take in. So today we're going to dress up our salad, and I'm also going to, dress up some broccoli with some of these basic vinaigrette dressings. So without more ado, we're going to get started. And I just have 4 bowls. I'm going to try to do this so that you can actually see what I'm doing and actually be able to see me in the process. So in this bowl, I'm going to just make the first basic vinaigrette. And the beauty of basic vinaigrette is basically 4 ingredients. You can either use lemon juice or apple cider vinegar as your tangy part. You can use olive oil, which I have for us today, organic olive oil, and then a little bit of Dijon mustard. So that's 4 ingredients, and I'm actually going to add the 5th one, because the 5th one is flaxseed oil, which is an anti-inflammatory oil, and it also has a lot of the omega-3 fatty acids, which are very helpful and anti-inflammatory. And the beauty of adding the flaxseed oil, which I'm going to add into every single one of these dressings, is that it will help it to mix better, and it'll also keep it a little bit more in suspension. That's my chemistry background talking. It'll keep it actually from separating a little bit less. And then when you put it in the refrigerator, it will also be something that you can take out of the refrigerator and not have to wait till it kind of thaws out, so it doesn't become gel-like. And I can give you the whole chemical side of it, but we're just going to leave it at that and keep it really, really simple. So we're going to make a basic vinaigrette. We're going to make a miso vinaigrette. We're going to make a tahini vinaigrette and a balsamic vinaigrette. So 4 different types, and they're all just as simple. So within 10 minutes, you'll have 4 different dressings. So generally speaking, you want like 2/3 of your dressing to be the olive oil, or maybe it's 1/3, and then 1/3 of your apple cider vinegar or any other vinegar that you're adding. And then it's about a tablespoon of Dijon mustard or the tahini or the, I said a teaspoon, didn't I? Not a tablespoon. And you're first going to start with the basic vinaigrette, which is the olive oil with the flaxseed oil, tablespoon of the teaspoon of the Dijon mustard. And there you go, the Dijon mustard. This is where I'm trying to get me and the dressing so that you can see it. I might have to use my yoga block as a prop, but I'm going to make this with the apple cider vinegar. So that was a teaspoon of the mustard. Now it's going to be 2 teaspoons of the raw apple cider vinegar. And then you're going to blend it up so that it is in a kind of more like a paste. Can you see how it's all blended together? And then you're going to stream in the olive oil, which is going to be about 4 tablespoons. And once you start doing this on your own, or you do it a lot like I have for about 27 years, then you kind of eyeball it. So I'm going to just be doing that today. I'm adding just a tablespoon of the flaxseed oil. And voila, there is your first dressing. I'm just going to show you what that looks like. And it blends together very nicely. And this way it will stay, you can use it for a whole week. If you want, you can also add a little bit of chopped up garlic, but I'm going to save that one for the balsamic vinaigrette because that's the one that I like it in the best. So that is your first vinaigrette. That is the basic one. Now we're going to make the balsamic vinaigrette, and that is going to be very similar, but you're now going to be using the balsamic vinegar instead of raw apple cider vinegar. So again, it's going to be a teaspoon or 2 of the balsamic vinegar. So I'm going to put 2 of them in there. And then I'm also going to put more of the Dijon mustard because I like the Dijon mustard better than any of the other mustards. So I'm going to put a heaping teaspoon of that into it. And again, we're just going to blend it together so that it's more of a paste and not kind of separated. So now it's looking nice and tasty. So I'm going to put my tablespoon of flaxseed oil in. And now I'm going to put the remainder of the olive oil in. I'm going to mix that together. And you can see that it's blending. And now I've diced up a garlic clove, and I'm going to put that in. And that's not necessarily an anti-inflammatory idea, but it's definitely an immune boosting idea. And those chunks of garlic will definitely boost the immune system and give your dressing a little bit more zinc. But can you see, because I added that flaxseed oil, especially with the balsamic, now it's a very creamy dressing. And this one goes well with pretty much anything. Romaine, arugula, green leaf, anything you want. The next one is going to be tahini based. So instead of using the Dijon mustard, now we're going to be using the tahini. So when you're using tahini, which is really just pureed sesame seeds and they're ground into a paste, and if you're buying the good kind, then it's going to separate. So when you need to mix it before you put it into the bowl. And this one, you can also use either the raw apple cider vinegar or you can use lemon juice. I am going to use the lemon juice for this one just because we haven't tried it yet. So we're gonna do 2 teaspoons of the lemon juice. If I can just get that tahini to get off of the spoon. And this one's gonna take a little bit more mixing because as you see, it's all separated. So it's gonna take a little bit more mixing just because the tahini is a lot thicker. And when it's stuck on your spoon like this, you'll want to take your finger, the end of your finger, and just take that part off, and then just blend it against the edge of the bowl, so that again you have a paste and it's not lumpy. You want it to be smooth before you add the olive oil and the flaxseed oil. So that looks pretty good to me. So now I'm going to go ahead and put in my olive oil and a little bit of my flaxseed oil, and voila, we're gonna mix it again until it becomes a little bit more creamy and very well blended. I could add salt into it too, but I find that it's not really necessary. And that's the beauty of actually making your own food at home too. You can control what kind of salt you use. You can control, and I always recommend either the Himalayan or the Celtic salt because we only need a little bit of it, but those two will have more of the other trace minerals so that the body is not just overloaded with just sodium. And there we have the tahini based one. And the tahini base goes really well with like an Asian kind of salad where you can put some raw or pan-seared tuna on it or salmon. And then you can put some of the wonton, what are those called? The noodles or the crackers. You can put something like that on there and some orange slices or mandarin slices. It could be a really great dressing for that. I especially like this one on my broccoli. And it goes very well if you add broccoli or any of those cruciferous vegetables or Brussels sprouts into your salad. You can add that on there. But I'm just going to go ahead and take a bite of this the steamed broccoli that I made. And this could be a salad base as well. And this is going to be part of my lunch. But I'm going to go ahead and take a bite of that one with the tahini dressing. It is really, really delicious. So that gives you an idea of some of the simple things that you can do with the dressings. And now we have one more, and we're going to use the miso instead of the tahini or the mustard. So if you are on an estrogen dominant diet where you're trying to avoid soybeans and things that increase estrogen, or you have sensitivity to soy, even though this is fermented, I would recommend that you avoid using this one. But this one is also very thick. So you're going to use a teaspoon of that and probably have to use your finger to get it off of the spoon. I really want to just lick my finger, but I'm talking to you guys, so I'm not going to. And this one, again, you can use either the lemon juice or the raw apple cider vinegar. And I'm going to use 2 teaspoons of the raw apple cider vinegar. And you're going to do the same thing as we did previously. And we're just going to blend the miso paste with the liquid so it becomes a paste. And this one's a little bit more challenging. I will admit that I'm having a challenge with it, but once you get it going and keep pushing it against the edge, you'll get it to be a little bit more creamy and smooth. So then you can add that dressing, or not the dressing, but you can add the oil in so that it streams a little better. So just be patient with it. Go ahead and take a deep breath and just keep pushing it against the edges until it's all creamy and smooth, just like this. And then last but not least, you're going to put in that tablespoon of the flaxseed oil, and you're going to put in the 2 to 4 tablespoons of the olive oil, and then mix that all up. And I think this one would probably do really well with some of that, with some ginger in it. to give it a little extra zing. And this would go well on an arugula salad, romaine, green leaf, really just about anything. But it gives it, I would definitely add some dried fruit into it to kind of balance out some of the tanginess of the dressing. So there we have it. We have our miso vinaigrette. And I think that was not even 10 minutes. And we have 4 different vinaigrettes made. So I tried already that tahini I like best on cooked vegetables like the broccoli. Now I've got this arugula salad that I made where I threw a little bit of walnuts on here and some dried fruit. But because these dressings are all really good, my suggestion is drizzle them in sections, and then you can decide which ones you want. And then another thing you can do, and this is what I do. I have a glass container. I put my dressings into here, and then I keep that dressing for, basically it'll last for a week, maybe even a little bit longer. But it's something where you now can try the 4 dressings, and with the arugula salad, I think they're all going to be really, really tasty. And I think I'm just going to try one of them now, just so that you can. I'm going to try. This is the miso with 1 bite. And that one gives it a really nice tang. I'm going to continue with my other dressings while I'm chewing here, and then I'm going to tell you which one I like. And I made this once. I made these dressings at a retreat last spring, and some of the women, they loved each one of them, and some of them mixed them all together. So it's your choice which way you want to do it. But so far, that miso one, really, really good. And that one, I think I'm tasting the piece of dried fruit more so than anything else. That was the vinaigrette. That was really good. 4 vinaigrettes, right? I think so far, I like the miso vinaigrette and the balsamic vinaigrette with my arugula salad so far. 1 more bite. Now I want you to go back to tinyurl.com/simple-dressings so that you can get your copy of the vinaigrette dressings and some ideas of what they will go best with. Then try them and let me know how they turned out. You can contact me, Joanna Hodorowska, nutritioninmotion.net, and let me know how yours turned out. Bon appetit.